Hey everyone, this is Wale again, and today we'll be looking at small habits add up to big results. Very tiny things can lead to very big results. And today we'll be using the book Atomic Habits as our reference, and I'll be using the map lamp framework from my book that will be launched hopefully June 2025. I'm very excited about the book. We are currently in the third of 5 phases of professional editing, and it's going on beautifully well. I'm very positive that we published in May and launching starts June 1st. Big thank you to everyone who has been a part of the videos, who has been a part of encouraging me for the book, and everything going on well. So today, why are we looking at small habits? Why are we interested in tiny changes leading to very big results? I've realized both in my professional life, in my personal life, and even in my interaction with patients that very small changes has yielded very big results for people. In my personal life, in one of the recent videos, I told us about how changing a few things around helped me to lose 20 pounds within less than 20 weeks, and I've kept it off for almost a year now. The point I'm making is very small changes in our habits can lead to very big results in our life, and that's what this video is all about today. We're going to be using the map lamp framework like I always do for the Adapt and Advance series, and the framework, it's M for meaning making, which tells us about making meaning. Typically we use quotes, or we use the stories of successful people in the areas we're talking about. Hence I use Bible verses. A will be the action, which means taking massive action. This tells us that whatever it is we want to do, if we don't back it up with action, it's just a waste of time to have a goal. P is planning, which means also for actions to be fruitful, to be useful, there has to be some good planning going into it, especially considering the fact that our life is multifaceted and could be very complicated when we throw new things into it. So we need to plan to make sure that what we are throwing in makes a lot of sense. L is learning. I've said it again and again, learning it's very vital. We need to keep learning new things every day. He who does not read is not better than he who cannot read. So it's important for us to read. A is alliance formation, which is we are all social beings, and we need to form alliances with other people, whether very close family members, colleagues at work, our friends, people that can help us achieve our goals and be the best version of ourselves. M is mission statement. Every one of us should have our own mission statement. It could just be a statement with something more than a statement. And P is prayers and everything that goes with it. I believe in the spiritual aspect of things, controlling the physical. So those are the framework we're going to be using to look at importance of small habits today, yielding very big results. Today, hang on there with me and let's take a deep dive into this. And one of the examples in Atomic Habits that really drove home for me the point is if a plane, for example, it takes off from Los Angeles in California and is bound for New York, if the angle of the nose is deviated by just a tiny bit, the plane might find itself, landing in maybe the state of Washington, which is on the West Coast instead of the East Coast. What does this tell us? Just a little change in angulation of the plane could make completely different locations that are far apart. The same way our lives are like that. Just a tiny bit of the good changes or the right changes could really get us to where we want to be, or negative changes could land us completely in a different place where we are not supposed to be. So tiny changes can yield very big results. So one quote that James Clear makes in the book Atomic Habits is, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. What does this mean? What this means is you could have very big goals of things you want to do with your life, you want to achieve, you write them down, do all the things we've been talking about. But it's not automatic that you rise to the level of these goals. You automatically, the default is you fall to the level of your systems. What systems are you creating? And you create systems with your habits. So your habits create systems that you don't need to think too much. The brain, the way the brain works, it doesn't want, there are some parts of the brain, like for example, we call it the salient part of the brain, or salient network, that continues working even when you are not actively thinking or actively taking decisions. The brain tries to conserve energy by making sure that it defaults to the things that can be done or that has it's been programmed to do on a regular basis. And that's where the power of habits lie. The things we do habitually is like creating a system in our brain, whereby the brain like is an kind of like autopilot on certain things that we have trained it to do. So that's the power of habits. So the quote today that we are using by James Clear is, we do not rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our system. So the systems you create with your habits matters a lot. And that's what this video is just about, helping us to create systems that will land us where we want to be. Not like you want to go to New York from Los Angeles and you land on Washington State. No, we are creating a system that will get us where we want to be. And this is the meaning making for this video, creating a system of where we really want to get to or where we really want to be in life. So now we are moving to A, which is massive action. For today, we'll be focusing our massive action on identity, forming identity-based habits. Not focusing on what you want to do, rather focusing on what you want to become. Who am I? That is one thing about identity-based habits. For example, you know, who are you becoming? You could say, okay, not just setting a goal. It's more of, who am I becoming by doing this? Not that I want to make, for example, let's give an example of, like I do push-ups like regularly every week, so about twice or so. It's not like I want to do push-up. It is, I am becoming healthy by doing push-ups. Not just that I do 46 push-ups twice every week. It is, I am becoming healthy by doing push-ups. So it forms our activities, more of our identity, not just so much of what we really want to do, but what we want to be. Why do I spend 2.5 hours every morning on Savers, MapLamp, CP? Those are the things I do, 15 of them, to start my day before I get into the day. Because I am becoming a good Christian. One of the things I tell myself in my affirmation every day is, in addition to becoming a good Christian, I'm fulfilling my purpose. I'm here doing whatever I've been sent here to do, I believe, by God. So becoming is more powerful than just doing things. When it becomes a part of your identity, it becomes easy for you to do. When you see it as who you are, not who you want to just, not what you want to do. It's more of this is who I am. It's easier for us to form good habits. So massive action is, make sure you make a list of habits that will get you where you want to be, in a way that you list it as who you are becoming, not just what you want to do. So the example I'll be using today, we are on P now, which is planning. And the example I'll be using to explain the principles here is Savers, which I currently, today is day 85 of starting Savers for me, which I learned from the book, The Miracle Morning, where S is silence or meditation. A is affirmation, that is saying positive things about myself. V is visualization. E is exercise. Those are the things I do first in the morning. One of the first things in the morning, during the morning. R is reading, and S is scribing or writing. Um, Not that I wasn't doing them before, but not like making sure I do every single thing every single morning together as one piece or every day. Today is day 85 on that habit for me. And I'll be using that just to explain a little bit today. So we are looking at for planning, where you're going to be using the framework used in the book Atomic Habits, which is Q, craving, response, reward. CCRR, Q, craving, response, reward. And the first one I will talk about is Q, which means making it obvious. So if you really want to form good habits, so we're going to talk a little briefly about good habits, and then the opposites will be dropping bad habits. Q is making it obvious. For example, set reminders. Each time I go to bed, I set reminders of when I want to wake up. And every time, as soon as I wake up, the first thing I pick is my notebook, which I think I've showed us a little bit in the past, which is a 4-page book. And two pages for every day. And the first thing I write is I take a ruler, rule a line on top of it, and I write Savers, Savers. And then after that, I write map lamp, I write CP. Those are 15 things I do in 2.5 hours, first thing every morning. So I make it obvious. So it's obvious. If you check every single day of my book, you see it there as Savers, map lamp, CP. So, and as soon as I complete each one over the 2.5 hours, I take it. I spend an average of 10 minutes on each one. Some could be as low as 1 or 2 minutes, while some could be at times more than like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, depending. But overall, I try to stay within 2.5 hours. So number one thing for forming good habits is the cue. You must have a cue. Make it obvious. Make it obvious. Set reminders for it if you have to. Design an environment that supports the good habits. For example, for me, one of the things I enjoy so much about the house where I live in, I talk about all the time, is the size, because it's big enough for me to walk. Just within those 2.5 hours, most times I already have, like, at times 4,000 steps, at times even 6,000 steps for the day, because I do all these things not sitting down. I do them moving around in the house. I pray moving around. I do all the other things moving around, listen to books moving around, just round and around my sitting room alone. I get 6,000 steps in the 2 hours or so. Typically, if I don't do anything else, if I don't stop in between to write or do other things, if I walk in my house for an hour, that's 4,000 steps. So, so make your environment enhancing for you to be able to achieve the goals you want to achieve. So that's Q. The other one is craving, which means make the good new habits attractive. Make it something that you want to do. Make it something that has benefits that are attached to it. For me, the benefits that I attach to Savers every day is, this is very important. This is very critical to my future. And it's very important for me to achieve what I want to achieve in life. So every day I do it, I'm one step closer to who I am becoming, who I want to be. So I make it extremely, extremely, very, very attractive for me. So make the good things or the good habits you want to form attractive. Make it something you love. Make it something you appreciate. And every time I read a book, for example, one of the habits is I read a book every week. Every time I read a book, the things I learn in it, like, assures me 100% that I'm moving closer to my goals. I'm achieving the things that I'm doing what exactly I've been sent here to do. So make it attractive, make it interesting, make it good. So form habits that are attractive. The third one is, after cues and craving, is reward. Is response. Sorry, craving is the same thing as reward. Is the response. Make it easy. So don't set goals that are extremely difficult for you to achieve. So you have to make sure you are setting goals that are relatively easy for you to achieve, and that and one of the things he said was a 2-minute rule or even 1-minute rule. So, like I said, I have Savers, Map Lamp, CP, 15 things. Some of them I do just 1 minute. Some of them I do just 2 minutes. Some I do 5. Some I do 10, depending on what. Some need more time than the others. So the ones that are relatively maybe more difficult for me, I make sure, but I know it's important to do them every day, I just set a timer for 60 seconds or 1 minute and I do them. So you don't have to like, if this something is good. And you know, the good thing is if you know something is good and beneficial for you, just start anywhere. You can start for just 1 minute a day and just be consistent. You are telling your brain something. Our brain, we train our brain every day with everything we do. You are telling your brain something that this is important to me, and your brain picks it. So that even when you are not consciously trying to do it, your brain has been programmed that this 1 minute is important for this human or for this person. And so we have to realize we are training our brain every day with what we do. So let's train our brain to do the things that matter to us and are important to us to achieve our destiny. So let's make it easy. Don't set new good goals and make it impossible for you to achieve. If I'm doing 2.5 hours every morning, it's because I've been used to doing things like that for a long time. The only difference now is I'm very rigid and specific on what I want to put into it. Doing 2.5 hours every morning has never been a problem in the last 25 years of my life. So make it easy, and for yourself is very important. And the last one on the planning is reward, which is always reward yourself for the things you do. Like one example I would give you is, I have very strict diets. No, that I do every day, but I have 2 days of reward every week when I eat anything. So, of course, not extremely excessive. At least I know I look forward to those 2 days when I'm able to like take a few sweet things here and there. But I know the remaining 5 days of the week, no, you stay away from it for the most part. So it's important for you to reward yourself when you do well and you're doing good on your goals. Do the things that are rewarding to you to reward yourself. And that's one of the ways to keep good habits. And to drop bad habits is just the reverse of those 4 things. Make them invincible. So you have to make it out of sight and make them unattractive. Like tell yourself, this is really, really bad for me. I don't want to do it. And make it difficult to do them. Change things around the house if you have to. That's, for example, if you are struggling with alcohol, if there's no alcohol in the house, make it hard, to get it into the house. And the last one is make it unsatisfying. So there are a lot of details to all this. Of course, this video is always limited by the 18 minutes mark that we target every time. So I encourage you to get the book and to read it and learn a little more deep things about it. Learning, which is the third thing, MAP, meaning making, action, planning. The next one is learning. I strongly recommend this book. It's one of the best books I've read in recent time. So if you've not read it, please go get it and read it. It's important that we form very good habits that will help us to achieve our goals and help us to succeed in life. Please go get the book and read it. The next one is A, which is alliance. Your environment and people around you shape your habits a lot. So you've got to be in good circles, whether virtually or in person. It's important for us to find people that will help you to move in the direction that you want to go in life. If you want to lose weight, hang around with people that have the same goals, or want to live healthy, hang around people that have the same goals. You want to run every day, hang around people that run every day. It's just easier for you to do it when people around you are also doing the same. And in the book, you give an example. For example, if you are if you go to church where people, for example, do things in certain ways, it's just easier for you to do it that way because you see everybody around you doing it. But if you decide, for example, to go to a place that is completely against the things you want to do, it's just so hard for you to do it because the social cues around you makes it just impossible to. So it's important who you hang out with. That's the point here. Mission statements. And there's something in the book that it said becoming 1% better every day, 1% better every day, 1%. So it doesn't have to be a very big change. Like we said, just a single change in angle for the plane that was bound for New York from Los Angeles could land him in Washington State. Just that tiny bit of difference. So that tiny bit of difference could just be that 1%. So don't aim to have just a big one the same day. Start small. So make tiny bit of changes every single day, 1% better, becoming 1% better every day. tell yourself, I am becoming 1% better every single day. So that could be your mission statement within the circle of other things that you have to do. For us as Adapt and Advance family, our mission statement is to be the best version of ourselves daily. So this goes along with us being the best version of yourself every day. If it's just 1% or 0.1 whatever percent you can do every single day, being the best version of ourselves every single day of our lives. That's our mission statement, by increasing our success and value daily, and by being a blessing to people around us daily. Finally, prayers, very important for us to pray and make sure that we're doing things right. Let's trust God to help us to keep moving forward in every area of our lives. I believe the spiritual controls the physical. That's my faith. And so you could alter a lot of things from the spirit realm. Also, we don't completely depend on our own strength to get things done, but we depend on the help of the Holy Spirit. There's a Bible verse I would like to mention here, which is not by power, not by might, but by my spirit, says the Lord. So at times we just depend on the help of the Holy Spirit beyond our own help to break those bad habits and to incorporate new habits. You realize I didn't focus too much on bad habits in this video because I believe the focus should be on the good habits you want to create. When the good habits are created and they keep coming in, the bad habits automatically fizzles away slowly. Not that you don't deliberately make efforts to get them off too, but more of your effort should be towards building the better habits or the good habits. So that's it for today on Adapt and Advance number 15. I am so excited that every single week, this means we've been doing this for 15 weeks, and I'm excited that things have been moving on every single week for the videos. The book is also coming on nicely. Like I mentioned at the beginning, please let's get set to get the books as soon as it's launched. The launch starts June 1st, 2025, hopefully. Remember to like this video, share with somebody that, we don't learn everything in one day, but I just believe by watching this video regularly, you just learn one tiny thing every day to improve your life. Remember, becoming better 1% daily. Becoming better. If you don't take anything away, becoming better 1% daily. Thank you everyone for watching and have a wonderful time. Bye.